Hello! Welcome to Miss Johnson and Mr. Simpson's 3rd grade virtual field trip. On Friday, September 13th, we visited Arbor Day Farms and toured 4 key locations on the property. Feel free to pause the video here to read our objectives and to see what standards we met today.
The first thing we did when we arrived at Arbor Day Farms was visit the indoor interactive exhibit to learn more about the function of trees in various locations in our community. After exploring this area, we watched a short film titled Trees in the Movies that showed 90 scenes from 66 classic movies in which trees have starring roles.
Next, we went to Treetop Village, which was a new addition to Tree Adventure this year. There were lots of rope bridges that we got to walk across, and our guide informed us that this was the only attraction of its kind in North America.
After exploring the Treetop Village, we walked down the Table Creek Trail. There were a wide variety of trees to see, a mossy pond, and we even ran into a couple of deer.
Each type of tree is different in many ways. For example, the bark of these 3 trees has each developed a unique pattern. What key differences can you see in these trees?
While walking through the trail, our guide explained to us why they don't remove fallen trees. They will eventually decompose and add nutrients to the soil. Take a moment to pause the video and read the sign titled Rotting Log.
The South Table Creek runs through the forest at Arbor Day Farms. J. Sterling Morton picked saplings from this area to transport around the state. During his time, Morton planted thousands of trees.
While walking on the trail, we also saw lots of insects. One caterpillar was having lunch, and the other was walking across the bridge. The spider was making its home between 2 trees. How do you think it was able to get from one side to the other?
Along the trail, we also saw lots of art. Do you remember what story the 3 chairs come from? And if you were going to make a piece of art to place along the trail, what would you make? Would it be standalone, like the chairs or the tree? Or made from a stump, like the mushrooms?
We saw lots of flowers and even a pollinator habitat. A pollinator habitat is a garden full of the flowers most pollinators like. How many pollinators can you think of? There's probably more than you think.
Last thing we did before heading to the Morton Mansion was check out one of the outdoor classrooms. On the left, you can see pictures of a pit full of uniquely shaped logs, and there were also blocks to play with. On the right, there was a pond full of fossils. There were also a few xylophones of varying sizes and materials that you could play. Can you hypothesize how the size, shape, and material the xylophones are made of could affect the sound they produce?
After lunch, we traveled to the other side of the property to tour Arbor Lodge. Arbor Lodge is also known as the Morton Mansion because it was the original home of J. Sterling Morton. Morton was responsible for planting orchards, experimenting with various crops, and demonstrating to others the value of trees and conservation. His efforts were well recognized, and Arbor Day was founded in 1872 as a celebratory day to plant trees.
This painting hangs in the entrance of Arbor Lodge. James W. Denver met with the Pawnee tribe to discuss signing a treaty that would give the United States land of the North Platte River. The piece shows the tribe dancing to celebrate the signing of the treaty.
Everything in the mansion was true to time, and little had been updated since the building was given to the state in 1904. There were a lot of small details that gave the mansion character, like the stained glass windows seen throughout the building. There was even a bowling alley in the basement. Our guide told us that Joy Morton, J. Sterling Morton's son, used to pay boys from Nebraska City 10 cents per evening to set up the pins and return the balls for them.
After exploring the mansion, we went to see the carriage house. Carriages were designed to be pulled by horses and were how people got around before cars were invented. Below the carriage house, there were stables where they kept the horses. And that's all we have for today. Thank you for coming on our virtual field trip.